She refers, she makes reference to the school. Maybe you guys, you say, just say it on there, or that's the whole, everybody else, and that's what. Yeah. Whatever it is, or it's, I just wondered, they're running on it. It's just awesome. You know how it is here. You thought this was gonna be different for 5 dogs. 2 years ago.
I didn't know what I was in for.
Sorry, the virus. We did. What a. And the neighbors have a big chat. And you. Well, I just did it. It's just all night. All that's working. Says.
It's 8:30, we'll call the meeting to order with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Good morning and welcome. First thing we need to do is approve the agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Next thing, we're going to move on to public comments. If anybody has any comments from the public that they would like to make, please do so at this time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to thank those of you who are taking the time to write the article. It's a lot of work doing that. Thank you guys.
Anybody else wish to speak this time? No, we'll close public comments. Next thing we need to do is discuss and approve the 4/28/25 regular minutes. Second discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, the motion carries. Next thing we need to do is approve the May 2nd, 25 special meeting minutes. Been moved. Second. And seconded. Any corrections or additions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. I need to do discussion and possible action on reassignment of tax certificates. 170236, 0237, and 0235 to the city of Gladbrook.
It is. Good morning. I'm Mike Marquis, attorney in here for the city of Gladbrook. We have 3 properties in the city of Gladbrook that the city has been kind of after for many years now for nuisance abatement. Primarily the issues have been lack of maintenance, critters getting in, fire hazard, those kind of things. The properties have now for a while been a tax sale and nobody's redeemed the tax certificates. The city would like to acquire these properties by assignment of the tax certificates from the county, and that we can finish basically the nuisance abatement. That might be complete deconstruction, it might be some kind of rehab, but it would give us the power basically to do what needs to be done, what we've been pursuing for several years. I did visit with the treasurer. She gave me the information that's in front of you on the 3 properties. So a lot of the tax was paid by a different individual, but the tax certificates themselves remain. And since it's a municipality that's asking for it and for purposes of nuisance abatement, what the city's asking to offer the tax certificates. So one at $64, second $107. County would sign the tax certificate. We would start steps requiring during that 90 days. Make sure that we're out, but at least out here, the county's got some money on these certificates and we're taking steps to try to clean these up. So what I'm gonna ask is a motion by the board to assign these 3 tax certificates to the city of Gladbrook and go funds.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Go ahead.
You got it.
Second. Move to second, any discussion? Are those the numbers you had?
Yeah.
And, okay, just wanna make sure in the minutes that you have. Okay, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oops, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Okay, Heartland Risk.
Hi, how are you guys doing
Good.
today?
Good.
So I'm Judy Hammercar, and I'm the administrator on behalf of Heartland, and Mary Griffin is with Homesmart. So that was the broker. Board. So we're here to discuss the renewal. I'm just saying, for your insurance premium. And just a little, background, we go through this each year where we send out, the pre-renewal packets to have all the information updated. All the schedules are looked at by the different departments to make sure, updating the schedules, make sure we have the proper information on there. And then we have this, we presented this at the Heartland meeting last Thursday, so Heather's aware of this, we've seen this. And then, just so you know, with regard to the rates, Heartland had not, we had a rate study done in 2023. Prior to that, there'd been no adjustments in the insurance rates for 15 years. They've been steady. They were approved at rate study in 2023. And they adopted those new rates, and those were used for the 2024 renewal, 2024-25 renewal, and those same rates were used for this renewal, so there hasn't been an increase. They'll probably have those reviewed, every 3 to 5 years, the rates, to just make sure that everything, is where it needs to be. So, I'll go ahead, any changes in the property estimates, we did leave that up to the counties this year. Last year we had a 5% increase as dictated by the market. We increased the property values. But this year we left that to the counties to see if there needed to be any changes in their property values. And you do have until May 31st to make any adjustments to your schedule if there's any questions or concerns on that. And we'll go ahead, and let Mary go over this then.
Yeah, absolutely. As Judy said, your rates have stayed the same this year, so any changes are applicable to your exposures that make up what your premium ends up being. So property, if we go down to the middle block under exposure, property went up just a little bit, 0.21%. Your inland marine values, which is your mobile equipment that we've taken around the county, that one had a bigger increase of values with some other equipment that's been purchased over the year, almost 16% increase in the values of those. Your equipment breakdown values, that's same thing as your property. That's if you have an equipment breakdown that's not covered under the property policy. So it's the same values as your property. Down a couple of employees overall. Your law enforcement number of officers is down just a little bit. General liability exposures, you saw a bigger increase in that. That is because used to be the Heartland had capped the amount of expenditures. So what we had was some counties
their expenditures were way up, but they were only being charged for a small amount. Tama was one, that was able to benefit from that, but then some of the other counties that their expenditures were way down were actually paying more. So the board of Heartland changed that from, what was it, 7%?
From 5
From 5 to 10. So your max cap is still well under what, your expenditure changes have been year over year. Trailers and vehicles, you had, 6 additional ones of those. Your payroll went up, 8.5%. But this is the one that I really want you guys to focus on, your mod factor. Your mod factor, if you don't know, is what NCCI creates this to say your losses compared to the industry or the type of business, company, public entity you are. A 1.0 is average. That's what they would expect you to have. So you had a 1.25 last year. You dropped down to a 0.82, which is saying that you are 18% better than the counterparts that they are comparing you to for your size of county. So that is a huge, I mean, that's a big reason why you're gonna see your premium go down. The second sheet I gave you is your mod snapshot. So that shows you, I'm gonna on the right side, the yellow and green boxes, that shows with the year going on, the 23-24 year, your actual losses were well under what it would have been expected to have. That's a big reason that your mod is going down. And if you continue to have years like that, your minimum mod is a 0.54, so you could potentially, that's your opportunity. So the more the safety is put into place, and you guys have done a really good job with that, the more that safety is looking on, the more it will save the county. So going back to the first page, as you see, your workers' compensation really dropped quite a bit from 164 last year to just under 112, so almost 32%. The other increases are, again, a direct reflection of the exposures that you submitted. So overall, your premium went from 681,711 last year down to 670,721 this year. So about a 1.61% drop in your premium.
And then just speaking with regard to, with the work comp premium, safety does, contribute to that. And that's last year, Heartland implemented, having safety committees for all the counties as a requirement. And so, it's required that their safety committees meet quarterly, at least 4 times per year, in order to get that safety, discount applied to the work comp premium. So just want to make sure we have those in place. And then also last year, Heartland, they approved a variable dividend plan for loss ratios under 30%. So if your loss ratio is under 30% at the year end, then there's going to be return of premium, of work comp premium to the surplus. So that's another benefit and a direct result of safety. So. And then just a couple other things that I have, each year we have the harassment prevention training that Heartland requires, and the board will confirm in July the approved methods for that. So, we'll get that scheduled and set up. And then we have the employment practices seminar or fall, seminar, and that will be held on September 11th, and we'll have some good topics at that. So encourage everyone who's able to attend that to attend. So that's kind of all I have.
Any questions?
The safety committee, would that be like some department heads or?
Yeah, I mean, each county just kind of sets that up, how, what works best for their county. But usually they do have department heads, or at least someone from each department. So like the courthouse may just have one person that represents them, and some counties alternate, like one year it might be someone from the auditor's office, another year it might be someone from the treasurer's office. I mean, it just depends on how the counties would like to, but usually secondary roads always has a presence, maintenance, conservation.
Right.
So just a makeup to make sure that, you know, all the departments are covered.
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll drop down the bin real quick, then we'll come back up.
We've been spot rocking and we've, been planning or reviewing the rest of we got the rest of our dust control list, so. First kind of spray for Central Island is gonna be May 15th, and then, EnviroTech will be the 22nd. So we're kind of getting those prepped, have the big guys take a look and make sure those spots are good. And then we're retrieving our shoulders on our paved roads and spraying those shoulders as well. So for the chef, we got most of that slab moved, and we'll kind of be working on getting pretty much site leveled and capping off the sewer that's there and a few other things to kind of finish up there. So that's most of it. Waiting and
Questions for Ben?
One thing I've got is, where we at on putting down more gravel. I know we talked about, the 310.
yeah.
And then I noticed, and I'm not asking you guys to do any favors, I noticed on H Avenue, there's a park, coming off of E49. Oh, that's almost gone. Yeah, I know it's gonna change, but I know we spent an awful lot of money on gravel.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with spending money, I just don't want it to go in the ditch, I don't want it to disappear.
Yeah.
I just want to be wise in what we're doing, so.
I know we got some on the north end by Highway 30.
Yeah.
But, I know we got some heavy or traveled roads that we need to get rocked down on.
Okay.
Gotcha, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll jump back up to discussion and approve resolution 5-5-2025A. It's a proclamation I put together, recognizing May or designating May as Mental Health Awareness Month. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and I thought that it would be good to recognize that. I'd like to do this with other causes and endeavors. Mental health happens to be my passion, and I appreciate being able to bring it to light. I had two family members, a aunt and a cousin who both I lost to suicide at a fairly young age. I was a teenager, and I had another uncle that struggled with schizophrenia and ended up passing away at a fairly young age. And so mental health has been kind of a passion for me. I've done this professionally for a long time and wanted to recognize there's a campaign that goes out every year to try to bring awareness to it, to make it okay. So I'd just like to read the resolution that we're going to consider, and has some data for Tama County. Whereas mental health is indispensable to the overall health and well-being of all individuals, and whereas mental illnesses are genuine and widespread within our community, affecting 1 in 5 adults annually, And whereas Tama County residents report an average of 4.24 mental health days per month, with approximately 8% of residents lacking health insurance coverage, and whereas there exists a ratio of 2,811 residents for every mental health care provider in Tama County, and whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly heightened awareness of mental health issues and underscored the necessity for accessible mental health care, and whereas the stigma associated with mental illness frequently deters individuals from seeking necessary assistance, and whereas the Make It Okay Iowa campaign advocates for open dialogues regarding mental health to diminish stigma and support those affected. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Tama County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Tama County, Iowa, and urge our citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and educational establishments to recommit our community to enhancing awareness and understanding of mental health, reducing stigma and discrimination, and promoting accessible services for all. So I would move that for adoption.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Aye.
Turner,
Aye.
Nibble,
Aye.
Nolan.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Okay, the motion will pass. Next, drop down to discussion of possible action to adopt amended land use plan. We had some discussion about this when this was first presented to us by the zoning board. Find it. There were some changes made, not very many. It was sent over to Brent Heron to look at. We had asked for some feedback from Brent. Brent sent it back. Just noting whatever the changes were, I think are all in red for our benefit of knowing what had changed. And so I was looking at the Iowa code, and the code allows us to adopt amendments to the original plan. The original plan has to be posted for hearing, or not for hearing, but just for publication in the newspaper. But since it's only being amended, those don't have to be. So we can pass this today and adopt it with the changes. I think they're ideally that they would be updated at least every 5 years. More aptly would be every year, and I think that's the goal of the zoning board. They're going to plan to do that yearly, and so it's been some time since it's been updated and adopted, and so I think that it's well past due. So we need a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion to approve the amended Tama County land use plan.
Then moved, seconded by Kupka. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, the motion carries. Discussion possible action on resolution 5-5-2025B, transfer from Vienna TIF fund to debt service fund.
Yep, so I put that on the agenda. We need to transfer those funds from the Vienna TIF to the debt service so we can make that payment on the bonds by June.
But, okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Been moved
I'll second it.
and seconded. That'll be a roll call.
Number?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Nibble?
Aye.
Aye.
Pepper?
Aye.
The motion passes. Next is also Karen setting a public hearing for FY25 budget amendment.
Yep, so we have some departments that need to have budget amendments done. Plus we need to do budget amendment for the correctional services and juveniles. People there, so I would like to set that public hearing for June 2nd. at 8:45, please.
Okay, June 2nd at 8:45.
I'll make a motion, we set that at that date.
Okay, it's been moved.
I'll second it.
Seconded. Is that the Monday?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you and I are gone, right?
Right, I'll be in May 2nd.
But-
I'll be in Sweden, June 2nd.
I can call in, I believe,
I
so.
think I can too.
Make it work for everybody. All those in favor say, or.
Yep.
Yeah, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Discussion of possible action to, so we have a new 911 director, so the first thing we need to do is to, the word is unappoint, the previous 911 director.
I'll make a motion that we appoint the last. I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now the good news, we have a new 911 director, and I think that most of the people down there are gonna be very happy.
I would like to think so. Just for those who don't know me, my name is Jacob Reineke. I'm from Belle Plaine. 911 isn't anything new to me. I've been in 911 for the last 10 years, starting here as a part-timer. Eventually moving over to Benton County for a little bit, and then working the last 7.5 years with the state of Iowa at our state radio centers that deal with like patrol and all that jazz. So really excited to get into this and hopefully make some good changes for the county and work well with everybody that we deal with. So pretty excited. Today's day one. So you guys will probably see me.
Yes, it's on.
Good to meet you. Welcome.
I'll make a motion that we accept.
Okay, been moved. Second. All those in favor say
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Officially have a new director. Thank you. Well, I'll see you. Anything's glad.
It'll be a rough week for him, because I'm not doing anything.
All right. Discussion of possible action on, POE fund. We still do not have a director, and we are very close to having to make a decision. There's a meeting between me, Michelle, and the folks from Arion tomorrow at 3:00 to discuss a couple of things. One, they offered to provide switches, obviously at a cost, and we're waiting to find out what that estimate is. They've also offered to be our IT person, find out exactly what they would be willing to provide and what cost. So that, I'll keep this on our agenda till we're done, but I want to give you an update on what we're talking about right now. So we won't know anything more until tomorrow.
Where are we at in the IT situation?
We have, I think, 2 people that we could interview still, and we need to make a date to do that. So that's been phone or email messaging back and forth, setting up the date for that, so.
Be, no action taken.
No action taken.
Okay. All right, discussion and possible action to set drainage district 1 assessment value.
So David Calderwood had told Heather earlier on that they would $35,000, and that averages out to 33%. So that's why we're set that rate.
Okay. Need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Discussion and possible action to approve courthouse lawn use for Bible readings for Tama and Meskwaki Celebration Church. There's a couple of applications that were sent in for, I think, is there 4 days total
Yeah,
or?
so one is like a week long at July 7th through 10th, and then
Yeah.
it's just 1 day for a couple hours in that morning.
Yeah, I think one was recognizing the World Bible Reading marathon, and then the other one was the state one. But I saw as a difference between the two.
I'll make the motion, or we got those.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Review and approve the dental insurance renewal. Those were emailed out to us over the weekend. Did everybody get it?
Paul sent that out, so I'm not sure if you.
Okay.
You were.
I don't think I saw that. either.
Okay. Is he on?
Yeah.
Paul, would you want to run us through that? Was he on?
He is.
Can you see him? Is he on video?
It says he's on, but he doesn't have, his camera on.
Oh, okay.
And here.
Think the Hartford rates for the life insurance had no, increase.
Want me to just call him?
If you can.
Bring it, I guess, first.
Doesn't want to be bothered today.
It's probably because he's on that.
It was a better sleeper because usually he just unmutes himself and starts talking, so
Yeah.
I wonder if he's walked away.
Should we
Nope,
just
that's okay.
come back to it at the end here? Go through
Yeah.
the other items first
Drop
and then
down and see if we can get him.
try chatting with him.
Those are those two. Discussion possible action on FY 26 budget concerning economic development resolution 5525C. That was presented to us at a meeting last week. And unless we're ready to take action on that, I haven't had it. I have had some more conversations, but, ready to move on that yet, unless everybody else is.
Need a motion to table.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll make a motion to table that.
I'll second it.
It's been moved to table that. All those in favor say aye.
Alright,
Opposed, motion carries. Any hiring freeze exemptions submitted? Nothing? Okay. Discuss and approve claims.
We have claims, well, I make a motion that we claims, the total is it's 151,802.19.
I second that.
Okay. Discussion, like a lot of rock.
Yeah.
At the Ben's budget was the majority of that. Or the bigger ticket items anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. But I guess we have some time to get these approved. Do you know, on the timeline?
But they need them to. Open up public comments again, if anybody wishes to speak from the public.
Please. Look up public comments. Supervisor updates. Heather, you have more?
Yeah, so I had, couple meetings last week, Heartland Risk Pool Insurance, as we heard from, Judy and Mary. They're at all of our Heartland meetings every other month. So yeah, this renewal, we pretty much, Karen, if you can put it on the agenda for next week, we need to act on it, but then there is you can act on it, but the latest date to pay is August 30th, I believe. I'll check the notes when I get home, but we'll pay it as late as we can, because obviously that's a pretty big amount that comes out, and so, that's when we'll pay to pay it, like whatever the latest date is. In that meeting, we talked about some of it's nice because you're with 10 other counties, so you can talk about, what's all going on, and we talked about, hearing tests, like, do you need them still, and who do you need them for? Sounds like OSHA has a requirement here in the last year or two that you do need to do hearing tests, especially people, secondary roads. So we're gonna talk about that in our meeting in a couple months, but just to really, what are people doing? Are people renting machines for hearing tests? Are they having a truck come in and do it? Who needs to do it? Kind of make sure that we're following all those requirements. So that was one of the main things. We also, there's, as you guys know with the newspaper, there's a new lawsuit, Salt Creek Wind, against the Board of Adjustment and the zoning administrator. So with the Heartland Risk Pool, I was able to get non-monetary. So what that means is $25,000. The county will get we just approved Henderson to represent the Board of Adjustment and the zoning administrator. So they will have $25,000 from the Risk Pool Insurance Fund to pay for that outside counsel. So good news there. I know, it looks like, okay, they're in all these lawsuits. It's expensive. The risk pool has been, that's the reason we pay for insurance, right? It's helping out on all avenues, just mainly the supervisors, attorney, Bell and McCormick. They're the only ones, anything above that 25,000, the county, will pay, but everything else is coming from the risk pool, and we do have legal expenses budgeted as well. So yeah, I know there's a lot of noise on that, but we're doing what the taxpayers' constituents want, and I'm doing what I can to get us as much money from the risk pool to cover, so it's not coming out of everybody's pocket. So that's a big thing, and I know Judy mentioned the fall seminar, so that'll be good. It's gonna be a taco bar, so that'll be good, and we came up with kind of what would be some good topics. There were some that were really good last year, so that'll be good. So I'll forward that once we get that. And yeah, it was good to hear that we've come down in the last year, as Judy mentioned. That's pretty cool. We've been pretty high. I think we're right after Benton in some of the highest claims in the last few years. So to work and navigate, through each department, kind of help and manage. Someone in Ben's department managing, so safety will be continued to be looked at. There is a safety meeting at 10 o'clock today at the engineer's office as well. So I'll head over there after this. And then I had, my DCAT board, DECAT, DCAT. So mainly the big things there is, CPPC, which is a community partnerships for protecting children. That will continue next year. I know there's a lot of uncertainties of what's gonna continue next year, what's gonna change, in our legislation, so that will continue, and the amount's, $24,664. So different things like child abuse prevention, some of those things are going on now. And also DCAT appears like it's been in the bill, that it looks like the governor is gonna keep DCAT as well. We'll find out once I get some and we'll, as things come about, we'll send out forms to nonprofits and see, who can jump on some opportunities. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
I was looking wrong too. I attended the Region 6 Resource Partners meeting, the 28th. So we have, the biggest thing that came out of our grants that are in play, the ratio for Dicer and Tama, their money going towards generators. I don't have that amount. For IDPH 5210, $20,000. 5210 is basically 5 fruits a day, no more than 2 hours of unproductive screen time, 1 hour of vigorous activity, and no sugar sweets. So $20,000 towards that. I don't know exactly how that's being administered. And then for on 134 High Street, $300,000 towards that. And then for the Tama Toledo Safe Route, this is for safe walking to schools. There's $600,000 that are being looked at for that. So that's out of the Region 6 Resource Partners, and they're holding another meeting on the 19th of May. That's all I've got.
We did have a Board of Health meeting the other day, and Mark was there, to discuss some mental health ideas you had. You wanna say a little bit about that? And
Sure. I'd met, with them, I got on their agenda, Libby Reekers, our judicial mental health advocate, attended with me. Of course, the sheriff is on there. In the county that we, are lacking, I guess, that there's some gaps. And so we want to identify partners and then, what services are needed and then what we're lacking. So we're going to look at that. We've started a pretty good list of what that looks like. And, we're discussing a position that maybe, housed without we were looking at putting it under public health, and it looks like it makes more sense to do it under the sheriff's office. So we're going to continue those discussions. We're looking at different models that are close to us. I think almost every other county around us has, what's called a co-responder program. I think the only one that doesn't is, Grundy County possibly. Iowa County has it, Poweshiek, Benton, Marshall, almost all of the counties around us have this program. So we're going to look into that. And,
I think everybody's kind of on the same page on this deal, so,
Yeah, it's been needed for a while. We haven't had anything, so
right. And
get everything squared away and figure out where the best services, what departments. So like Mark said, I think that under the sheriff's office, having a liaison there would be the best option.
I don't remember her name from Benton County. Shelby was on there, and she gave a lot of good information, a lot of good feedback, as far as Beyonce's go, and I think it was all received very well. And the Board of Health wasn't against it. There was just that kind of make more sense to go under the sheriff's department. But other than that, District 1, I just did some road travels and other things for you think after living in Iowa for 20, 30 years of their whole lives, they'd understand that, but it's, you know, the mate blade's gotta get out there and take care of it and try to get some new rock where it needs it and it's nothing's horrible. I mean, I think we've had some good winters the last couple of years. So I think the roads are in decent, you know, in good shape. For being in out. Oh my God. We didn't meet with the, age this week, month, so we meet this week. So.
I did forward an email. You some rules. So if you guys wanna take a look at that, I think we'll recess for about 5 minutes and then.
How much for your reset?
Recess. Have a good new week. Take care.
See you guys.
Yes.
Good luck.
Send it, but it doesn't automatically attach it for some.
Yeah, I didn't.
Through Google.
Okay, perfect.
We're good.
And then I'll take them out.
Now we lost David.
I'm sending to get you.
Here you go. She's here.
Hey, Michelle's in here.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Good. Start with any questions? Comments? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the dental.
It's been moved and second to approve. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Look at the life insurance, any questions or comments or entertain a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second it. Motion and second to approve. Discussion, all those in favor say aye. Motion carries. I think we've got everything on the agenda. Let me know if I skipped over anything.
Good.
Did some jumping around, made good time. We adjourned at 9:25.
And a full page.